This tutorial assumes you have Hammer++ and Hammer add-ons installed. If you do not have these two tools installed, please watch our first tutorial.
Hello and welcome to the Portal Mapping and Modding YouTube channel. I'm Garmezon, I'm going to be your host for this tutorial about advanced geometry. So we're going to be covering the Clip tool, the Make Hollow tool, the Scaling and Mirroring tool, the Vertex tool, the Arch tool, and the Paste Special. So I'm going to grab myself a depth texture and we're going to create a little bit of a cube here. Let me just up the grid. Oops. This is a little more advanced, we're going to see it later. Made a block here. Now if you want to cut this block, you could do it with the clip tool. Just select this little slanted thing, drag it, and this blue line will be where it will be cut. Now you see both of them are white. If I press Shift X again, one of them turns red. And if I press Shift X again, the other one turns red. Now, what does it mean? Basically, this white thing will be what remains, would be the piece that remains of your clipping, and this part will be the piece that will be removed. So if I press enter, you see this bit is removed. And now if you press Shift X to make it so both sides are white, you can make it so they both are kept. Anyways, that's it for the clip tool. Let's go for the Make Hollow tool. So let's say you have a little square here and you want to make a room. Just go to Tools, Make Hollow, and this is the thickness of your walls. Okay, now it creates a little room here with walls of 32 thickness as specified. Now I actually wouldn't recommend this for making rooms, because it can get quite off-griddy, but it's useful for test rooms. And it works with any shape, even cylinders. Now, scaling and mirroring. Let's say you have a little shape here that's very silly, very concave, right? That's your doorway, right? And you want to copy it and like mirror it so it's like a mirror on the other side, so you can make your little doorway, right? Shift, copy, and you can press Ctrl M, and you can scale it in one axis by -1. This is very useful. Oh, we're gonna have to scale on the x-axis. You can see, made a little doorway. Now there's other options, but they're pretty self-explanatory. I'll just go through them very quickly. Rotate rotates it by that amount. Moving moves it by the amounts you specified, and teleport teleports the location coordinate that you set in here. And that's pretty much it for the scaling and mirroring. Scaling tool, actually, or general tool. Now we're going to go to the Vertex tool. Now the Vertex tool is also pretty simple, but a little bit more complex with more features. So press this little 4D cube here, and you got yourself this mesh with a bunch of white and yellow little squares. Now these white ones represent vertices. So if I grab one here and move it, you can see how it moves one vertex here. You can see it's red because it's creating an invalid face. This is a Hammer++ feature. These yellow things are sort of to move edges. So you can move an edge up and down. You can move just side by side. If you click this again, you can hide the yellow dots, the edge movers, and here you can hide the vertices, the vertex movers. Alright, now there's some features here that are very cool. So if I press into here and press Ctrl F, it creates a sort of an edge, sorry, that you can move around. Ctrl F, and on any edge will do this. And it's pretty cool. So Ctrl F, let's make a sort of little thingy here. Okay. Be careful not to create invalid faces. And yeah, we got also another feature which is pretty awesome. You can select, I'm going to select this top part of this model and press Alt E. and you can scale it down or up. And what this means basically is that it will get these vertices either closer to each other or further away from each other. So if I put 0.5 here, you're gonna see how it scaled everything up here down a little bit and sort of creates a sort of conical shape. Right. Now we have the last feature. It is very useful, and it will be very useful later on as well. Is that you can select everything and press Ctrl B to have it all snap to the edge. Now this might create some invalid faces, so you might want to be careful. So you might want to be careful with this. See, it's creating many invalid faces. I'm gonna reduce the grid a little bit, and yep. You can also just select some, so you don't have that issue. Yeah, that's it for the Vertex tool. Now we're gonna go to the Arch tool. Now the Arch tool, as the name implies, makes arches. So you go down here, select Arch tool, create a little shape here. Beware that your arch will be created based on the top view. Always. Now, in regular Hammer, if you're using it, it's gonna look a little different. The preview will be in this side and it will be like black and white, but it's basically the same principle. Now, wall width is the width of the wall. It's pretty self-explanatory. Number of sides is sort of your resolution. It's how many individual brushes are being used to create this shape. Arc is the angle of your arch. So you can have a 90-degree angle and a 180-degree angle. Start angle is the point at which your arch starts forming. So here it's forming at the 0-degree angle and going 180 degrees. But if I put 45, it starts at a 45-degree angle and goes 180 degrees. Now add height, it's pretty interesting. It changes the height to each brush that's on your mesh, that's on your arch. So if I put 16 here, you can see how it creates a sort of stairway, and this is very useful for spiral stairways. So yeah, there's one thing that's also very useful, is if you're making sort of a hole in the wall. This is a trick that's pretty nice. So let's say you have this arch here and you want to put it in a sort of wall, but your wall is square, right? So instead of using carve, you can get the Vertex tool and pull the vertices up to make a sort of square looking thing. Yeah, it's awkward. This is not the best way to manage it. I would probably be merging these vertices together here and like merging these vertices, but it's just for the matter of demonstration. Now we're gonna go to the Torus tool. Now this tool is something else. Now let's make a 512 by 512 square by 512. Now this one's gonna look exactly like it looks right here in regular Hammer. Okay, this top part here kind of will show up as the will show your side and like front view, so it'll be on the Y and X axis, and this one is your top view of what it will look like. These ones are pretty self-explanatory. I mean, I already explained them. These ones are basically the same thing. Rotation sides is the number of sides. Rotation arc is the same thing as arc. Same thing. This one's a little bit different because it doesn't move each brush up. It actually adds a height to the end of your curvature. So the end will be, for example, if I put like 512 here, the end will be elevated by 512. I'm gonna leave it at 0 for now. Now cross-section radius, it's sort of the wall width for your torus. So if I put 64 here, you're gonna see how it completely changes how it looks in the top view preview. So I'm actually gonna put 64 and wall width 16. And okay, and we create a little bit of an arch here. Now, if you want to implement this with the arch tool, what you're gonna want to do is make sure your wall width is the same, 360, and the number of sides also has to be the same, or else it will look off. Whoops, 16. And you can see how it's not 512 by 512. That's because the Torus Tool makes everything a little bit smaller. Mostly because of the cross-section radius of the wall width. So it's not going to be 512 by 512. Now you can see how it fits basically perfectly. But if you want to fit it more perfectly, you can select the Vertex Tool. I'm going to go to grid size 1. Select your vertices here, both of them, and press Ctrl B. This would basically ensure that everything is aligned perfectly, and I mean perfectly. So let's say you're a go-getter and you just made this weird ass shape and you want to make it an art sort of thing. Now you can do this the boring way or the smart way. The boring way is by copying it and but the smart way is Ctrl C, edit, and paste special. Now first we're gonna need to do some setup. So this is the origin, and you can move the origin away from your mesh, and if you turn here you're gonna see it forms a sort of circle. You can even imagine it, but let's turn, this is 15 degrees, this is 30 degrees, okay, 30 degrees. So you're gonna go here and paste special. This is the number of copies you want to paste, and this is the rotation that you want to have it be accumulative. So I'm gonna have it be 30. Start at center of the original. Use pivot from selection towards rotate origin. These are pretty self-explanatory. There's also other options here, but let's go for these options for now. Press OK. I divided beforehand, so we know it's exactly 12 copies that need to be made. And yeah, you can see it formed a sweet cylinder. Now, if you want bigger shapes, you can just move the origin further away. But if you do move the origin further away, you're going to notice that rotating in 15 degrees, it will rotate it too much. So what you can do is press Alt, and each of these rotations with the Alt pressed is half of a degree. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 9 is the angle that I want. So I divided this sort of equation here. It's not exactly half, it's 5172. You can just multiply the number of turns that you made. So here it would be 9 turns by this angle. So let's do 9 times 0, no, not 9, 0.5172. This is 46548. Now we get this value, 360, divided by this, 77. Roughly 77 copies we're gonna have to make. And it works almost perfectly. I guess there was a little bit of a mistake. Oh, because one of the copies is already accounted for. There was a little bit of a mistake, little bit of error. You can see it makes this sort of arena, and it's really cool. You can combine this with all the other tools we looked at this video before. So you can, for example, select this top part. Oh my god, it's laggy. I'm not gonna do that. But you can select the top part and press Alt E to make it go in on itself. Yeah.